receiving. So I am just kind of basking in all of that nurturing energy and want to thank you all for taking the time to create that space in your own weekend. I am Taylor, for those of you who don't know me. I am an integrative growth mentor, and I am also certified as a practitioner in NLP, EFT, clinical hypnosis, and time techniques. And if you don't know what any of that is, welcome. You're going to experience a lot of that today. Focus for me is really on somatics and being in the body, as well as that subconscious reprogramming and energy. We have these esoteric anatomy that exists outside of this physical body. So y'all are going to get to experience a little bit of that caretaking and how that makes you feel and what that can do for your whole psyche, mentally, physically, emotionally. So I love to see you all getting like comfortable and cozy already. I invite you all just for a moment to close your eyes and kind of coming inward and just hearing this message of allowing yourself to receive whatever it is that you need to receive today. And with any piece of resistance you may face, kind of letting down the expectations and the guards and just becoming a little more curious. What is there for me here when we find ourselves in those spaces of resistance or tension? And then whenever you're ready, after you've heard that, just coming on back to us. And I'll hand it over to Katie for more of our why behind this retreat and the inspiration behind the flow and why we decided to do this now.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So as I mentioned, Taylor and I are business partners and we lead in-person retreats together. She used to live in Colorado with me and then moved to Michigan. So we are on the phone every week with each other, and recently we're talking about there's this energy of the collective that we all carry and we all really feel, and whether it's conscious or unconscious, it still affects us. And the energy of the collective during the summertime can be a little bit crazy. And a couple of weeks ago, when Taylor and I were talking about this retreat, what we really wanted it to be focused around, we realized that there's this sense of like really ungroundedness that the summer carries with it, because you're out, you're having fun, you're having a good time, you're saying yes to people, places, and things that may be pushing your boundaries a little bit. And it is now your opportunity to reset and realign. So that's what release and realign. So we're releasing, we're resetting, and we're realigning with our vision. So as I mentioned, summer, it's exciting, it's fun, and it's easy to get swept away in the summer fun. So this space is going to be a really beautiful time to get in touch with your intention, ground into your vision, and realign with those steps, those key action items that we need to do in order to take us closer to what we feel we need in order to be more whole in ourselves. And whether that action item is to rest and digest, or whether it's to fill yourself up with a different experience or a person, then that's great too. So it's just a really beautiful time to gain clarity around truly what it is that is nourishing for you. As Taylor said, we'll be going through a few different techniques rooted in the subconscious and also somatic integration. So we'll start with we're going to do some journaling to open it up. And then we are going to do tapping, EFT. I'm curious who in this space has experienced tapping or emotional freedom technique before. And you can just drop in the chat or raise your hand or give us a little heart. Okay, awesome. We've got a couple.
Just a little bit, just not much.
Yeah, perfect. Amazing. I love it. 3 people. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah. So, I know Holly has a little bit. I'm not sure about Elise and Becky. Elise says yes. with
Okay.
lots of exclamation points.
I'm good.
Yay.
Hi.
Good.
Okay, Becky
Welcome.
hasn't. Awesome. This is going to be a new experience for you. I also teach yoga. In our last virtual retreat, we did EFT and yoga combined. So you'll actually see that, and we have a free resource available for you all. Let me actually just pop that in the chat right now so you can take a look at it. But the video from our last virtual retreat is on that landing page, and that has EFT and tapping combined, and we did some other time techniques and some other modalities as well. So if you're interested to integrate more of this work into your life, that's going to be a really great resource and place for you to start. So yeah, so we're going to be doing some journaling, some EFT, time techniques, which is what Taylor mentioned. It's an opportunity to get in touch with your timeline. And then move into some ecstatic dance to really feel into this vision that we're going to be creating. And then Taylor's going to bring us back into a grounding meditation, and then we're going to close out with some journaling. So how does that sound? Is everyone good to go? Do we have everything that we need? Yeah.
I
All
love the
right.
rapport.
Amazing. Yes, yes, yes.
Yay. Give us some
Oh,
love in the chat. Yeah, especially if your video's off, so we can just like get a sense. You know,
yes.
us as facilitators, we really want to see your face only because we want to see it, but also so we can kind of read you and see where you're at and kind of feel into what you're needing and you know, how we can help enhance your experience that way. So
I love it. Thank you so much. And I want to know, so before we get started in the chat, why don't you all tell us where you're coming from, and then how you feel now, and then how you want to feel at the end. That'll give Taylor and I a really good baseline for what to work with.
I love that. Thank you,
Yeah.
Katie.
Thank you. Yes. And then I just got another person signed up, so let me send her.
I know some people are messaging me too, so I was like, let's make sure we get everybody. Has anyone had anyone message them like I'm having trouble getting in or anything like that? If I can copy and paste the invite link, I'll just do that in case anybody wants to send it to a friend. There it is.
All right. So where are you calling in from? And then how you're feeling now, how you want to feel at the end. All right. Mark is calling from Virginia. Nice. I was in Maryland.
That's where
Full
I'm from
body.
originally.
Maryland.
Yeah, Baltimore.
Oh, nice. I'm from Bethesda.
Oh my God.
Just right down the road.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Full body energy. I'm curious what you mean by that.
Oh, just feeling the body flow and the juices and, you know,
More
just
energizing.
Energize, yeah.
Oh, you will have that.
I've done a
certain.
lot of that. Well, I guess I have. Yeah, a lot of that type of stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Finger Lakes region, New York, from Elise, definitely in need of some grounding. Yes, in this ungrounding time. Love that.
Me too, sister. We've got DC dealing with chronic pain from in the last year. Hypnosis. Have you tried hypnosis, Becky, for pain reduction?
I have not. I'm working with a mind body coach right now, but hypnosis has been like on the back burner, but I've just been doing so much. It's like, yes,
And
I've thought about
EFT
it.
as well would probably be, both of those would be great complements to some treatment for you.
Well, we have a little gift at the end for the next person that signs up for our retreat too, and it's a little hypnosis surprise. So we'll talk about that later.
You might be interested.
You might
Definitely.
be receiving it sooner than you think. Okay, awesome.
Maryland, feeling open and self-loving today. I am there with you, Alyssa, and I would like to feel that expanded. Yeah, I love that. Just expanding on the feel good. A mentor that I follow always says, like, what if it is our only intention in the day to feel good and to continue to choose that each and every moment? So
I love that. And then we've got somebody from Colorado. Welcome, Holly. I'm in Denver. Anxious, want to feel relaxed, calm, and grounded. Okay, perfect. Well, you're in the very, very beautiful, perfect space for that, because tapping is definitely going to be helping with the anxiety. And then, of course, closing out with that grounding meditation that Taylor's going to lead us through is going to really help to earth us back into our roots and our intentions and help to really reduce that anxiety and stress. Okay, awesome. Well, I'm going to put some music on in just a minute. If you have your journals available close to you, please grab them. I'm going to just open this up and provide a space and opportunity for you all to do some reflection on your current reality right now. Where are the energy leaks? Where are the blocks? And so my first question for you is, where are your energy leaks? What are you saying yes to that isn't in full alignment, right? What are you saying yes to that isn't filling your cup? And what are you saying no to that could nourish you even more? This could be physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. It could be career oriented, right? All of these different areas of our life. There's so many things that we're saying yes to that maybe aren't supporting us fully. And so I'll go ahead and copy and paste these questions into the chat, put some music on, and just drop into what is going on and what's alive for us right now.
Just creating some awareness here. No need for resolution. Noticing where maybe some of these things create resistance, create tension, create more of that anxiety. Notice what lights you up, what makes you feel alive, what motivates you. Take note, maybe you highlight it, maybe you underline it. Just cultivate that awareness around how it feels in the body. For those who are just joining, we are doing some journaling to drop in, take inventory of where we're at, where we're going. The questions are in the chat. So where are your energy leaks? What are you saying yes to that you want to say no? And what are you saying no to
that you really truly desire to say yes to for yourself, for your partners, for your loved ones, whatever it is, for your energy, for your spirit. And then what are the hard truths that you've been avoiding, that you've been turning a blind eye to, that you've been ignoring? And then we're taking inventory, paying attention to what creates tension, clenching, resistance, and then what feels really good for us. And we're highlighting, underlining, really paying attention to these little intuitive pings. All right, you've got a couple more minutes. I have one more song queued up for you all.
I love to see all the thorough pens going and faces and intentional writing that's going on.
All right. And then continuing to write and finish up. Finishing your ideas. And then I'm curious to know what you're saying yes to more of now for yourself, and then what you're saying no to, or what hasn't really been fully filling you up. You want to drop it in the chat or unmute. Taylor and I are also happy to do a little bit of hotspot coaching if you guys have anything that you want to talk through.
everything that's very said.
Yes.
My
Marvel.
energy is just like, I wouldn't say that, I was actually having a hard time figuring out where I'm leaking, because I feel like I'm actually saying no more to things than I'm saying yes to, because over the past couple months, I've realized I was saying yes to things that didn't feel aligned. And so like over the past month, I've been really being like, nope, that doesn't fit with me. And I am finding like myself in more alignment. But I feel like that also means that like I'm just trying to find that balance of like intellect and intuition, because I'm like, oh, I'm not working to, and I was thinking, oh, I'm kind of like working on things that like go with my goals, but I'm like, I don't have like an actual goal defined right now. And it's really just finding that like balance between saying like, this is what I need for myself. This is what, and like almost letting my energy kind of like dictate the day and say, okay, this is what I can do for the day. And if I get one thing that's going to help me feel better about like my life or towards my business or towards like a partnership, relationship, or whatever, that's enough for me. And I don't have like, and I think for me is like, I'm trying to like figure out, or not figure out, but like allow more of the unknown come through, because I don't need to, my mind wants to have the whole goal and plan figured out, versus just kind of letting the journey happen and like living into it. So
I
yeah.
love this. Thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, Taylor's got her hand up. This is like really alive for a lot of people right now. And when we get into the ecstatic dance, that tools to get into your body and just like get into these crevices and noticing where the resistance is in the body and breathing and sending your breath through those blocks is going to help to start opening those channels to more flow. And then Taylor, I'm sure you have something as well that you want to say.
Yeah, I just wanted to add similarly to Katie, this where you said a lot of people are alive with this right now, and the fact that a lot of us are in this in between phase, and this is also a theme I saw this weekend throughout my own retreat, and allowing ourselves to be present in that while also holding space for that next step, that next version, that next journey, that next phase, and welcoming it in, but also just being like grateful and happy, content, and present where we are. And I think that that's literally the epitome of the term embodiment, um, which we will be stepping deeper into today. And also this fact of the six human needs, and certainty and uncertainty are two of those six needs. And so often we cling to this certainty because it's familiar and we're comfortable and we know we can count on it and rely on it. And when we're going to get into some values later, we kind of shift that perspective towards being more comfortable with the uncertainty. I think that that's when a lot of the magic unfolds for our lives, and we get to play in it a little more than be so fearful of it. Does that land? Big head nods. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
And one of the easiest, safest, quickest ways to move from certainty to uncertainty is doing this weird stuff that we're about to embark on, and move your body in different ways that you don't usually move it, right? And like really bring it into this third dimension in ways that are safe and grounding and comfortable, but also pushing those boundaries as well. Okay, awesome. And then Mark's
Thank you
at the
for that
chakras.
share.
Yes, thank you so
Marks for the
much.
chakras.
I love the chakras.
Here for
Yeah, just get
Okay.
them all aligned together.
Yes. And then Taylor and I are both womb light practitioners, and we are energy workers as well. So I'm here for the chakras. It's a
That's
big
always
one.
interesting, by
We'll
the
be
way.
experiencing that
Great.
closing today. So yeah, get excited.
So the next activity that I will lead you all into is some tapping. So I know that some of us have already shared how we're feeling right now. If you could just drop in the chat what specifically you're feeling extra anxious or triggered by. Otherwise, I'll offer this collective intention of feeling overwhelmed and ungrounded in this season of life. And then as you all drop in the chat, Taylor, did you want to guide how?
Yeah, I was just going to say I could guide some simple steps while you're kind of collecting some of that information from the chat to formulate a good tapping sequence for us. So I know many of you are familiar with tapping. For those of you who aren't, just a quick overview. EFT is known as the emotional freedom technique. It is a psychological acupressure technique. So we are accessing certain meridian points in the body to help move that stagnant energy within ourselves. And tapping is actually like backed by the VA to help with things like PTSD. So there is a lot of evidence-based science out there behind the efficacy around tapping. The points that Katie will be guiding us through, we always start with a setup statement, which is done on the side of the hand, known as the karate chop point. From there, we move in to the inner eyebrow, side of the eye, and just tapping like, 4 to 5 times there, under the eye, under the nose, chin, collarbone, under the arm for my ladies in the group, kind of like where that bra line would be, and then top of the head. And that's the sequence that we go through. And with tapping, we utilize it to really identify how we're feeling at first and to move through some of the heaviness and the problematic experience that we're having. And we'll feel a little shift, if not a great shift, within like 3 to 5 rounds of tapping on those more quote unquote negative feelings or experiences that we're having, which then allows us to create space for more empowering statements. And we end the tapping sequence with a couple of empowering, anchoring perspectives so that we can move forward in this fresh energy. And before every tapping session, before we rate it on a scale from 1 to 10. So we pick a most pressing issue, which is what Katie is kind of formulating for the group right now. And we rate that on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the most intense, 1 being the least. And then we rate it again at the end. And that's how we determine our level of success within that session, or that level of relief, if you will. Are there any questions?
All right. So if you haven't already, please define clearly what that most pressing issue is. I'm sure you've already written it down, but if not, please write it down. And then, as Taylor said, rating it on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really, really, really triggered, and then 1 being nothing at all. It's not a thing. So I'm going to write mine down. Challenges. All right.
So it sounds to me, Katie, that kind of the collective of the group is having some fear
I was
in
about
general.
to say that. Yeah,
Okay.
Fear of the
So,
unknown.
yeah, fear of what's coming, fear of how to interact with these big, huge things that are happening around us in our world. Yeah, letting go of the fear for sure. So
Okay.
it's to be expected, everybody, for sure, in the times that we're living in right now.
So I am entering into a pretty crazy season of my life, leaving my full-time job and stepping fully into my work as a healer and a coach. So this fear is really alive for me. Let's just be truthful with that. And I'll say I'm probably at like an 8 or a 9 out of 10, if not 10 out of 10 for what the hell is about to come. So fear of the unknown, fear of the world around us. How does that feel and sound for us to tap through? And then I'll talk to our specific triggers throughout as well. Okay. So arriving, take a breath out. All right, inhale. And let it go. Take one more together, in breath. Breath out. All right, tapping on the karate chop point. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Even though I have no idea what's going to happen next, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel like there's so much out of my control, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm truly scared and fearful of the society and the world and the things in the future that might happen, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Tapping top of the eye. This world feels so overwhelming right now. Side of the eye, I've been isolated for over 2 years. Under the eye, and it's caused a lot of anxiety for me. Top of the lip, I feel really disconnected from my community. Chin, I feel really disconnected from humanity. Collarbone, humanity feels really disconnected right now. Ribs, and I feel like I just don't know what to do, how I can make a difference in this. Top of the head, and sometimes I'm even scared to turn on the news. Top of the eye, in fact, a lot of times I'm scared to turn the news on and hear what else, what is there for me today. Side of the eye, and it just breaks my heart. Under the eye, I'm feeling so overwhelmed by this climate in the world. Lip, I'm feeling really overwhelmed in this season of my life. Chin, I'm saying yes to things that I could definitely be saying no to. Collarbone, I'm feeling pretty defeated and depleted by this world around. Ribs, and I'm really just not sure how to shift. Top of the head, but when I show up in communities and spaces like this, I know I will receive exactly what is meant for me. Top of the eye, I show up authentically and I express my truth so I can receive the support that I need from a genuine place. Side of the eye, and when I speak my truth and when I ask for support, the universe delivers. Under the eye, and how beautiful when I am in my truth that I am served and given exactly what I need. Top of the lip, by me standing and being and expressing my truth, that gives other people the permission to express their truth.
My mom, I think, is going swimming right now. And I don't.
Thank you. And when we express our truths, then it gives a little bit of a smile and brings some light in. Collarbone, and we get to share in that light with the future generations. We get to break those patterns in past generations. Ribs, and that's how I get to heal this wound. Top of the head, that's how I get to heal with the collective. Top of the eye, because it's true, we are all one. Side of the eye, when I take care of myself. Under the eye, when I nourish myself. Top of the lip, I get to nourish others even more fully. Chin. And when I nourish myself and give others the permission to do the same. Collarbone, this world, we get to heal together. Ribs, and my impact is so much greater. Top of the head, And the support is so much more potent. Top of the eye, and it's so much more genuine. Side of the eye, and it's so much more in service. Under the eye, because I've shown up. Top of the lip, I've spoken my truth. Chin, I've received the help that I needed. Collarbone, everything that I could have imagined. Ribs, and so much more. Top of the head, I've received the help and support beyond my wildest imagination. Top of the eye, and I get to sit here in collective consciousness and community. Top side of the eye, and share in this potent energy with my brothers and sisters. Under the eye, I am safe. Top of the lip, I am protected. Chin, I am loved. Collarbone, and when I speak my truth. Ribs, when I take care of myself. Top of the head, and when I prioritize myself. Top of the eye, my connection to spirit. To side of the eye, to my spirit. Under the eye, to my heart. Top of the lip, and soul. Chin, it heals. Collarbone, I am healing. Ribs, I am whole. Top of the head, I am enough. Top of the eye, I am more than enough. Side of the eye, I am safe. Under the eye, I am loved. Lip, I am loved. Chin, I am loved. Let it go. Allow your hands to rest by your sides. Just sit in this stillness for a minute. And just notice your energy body, notice the mental clarity, how the fluctuations in the mind have shifted more into stillness perhaps. And then now coming back to your piece of paper on a scale of 1 to 10, define right now, where are you at with that most pressing issue that you used to have? 1 to 10, write it down. All right, I went from a 10 to a 4, fear of overwhelm, fear of the unknown. And it's real. It is so real. So if you are still hovering at or above a 4, please, after we get through this, another opportunity to work through this yourself. And then Taylor and I, of course, as coaches and healers and guides, are happy to get on a call and do a more customized, more just personalized tapping session for you as well. So yeah, and it's okay if you went up too. Like it's understandable. But if you did go up, great. There's more awareness there. You're moving the energy, and keep tapping until it goes down to under a 4.
Yeah, and just to piggyback, the more specific we are with tapping, if you feel comfortable, right? Like we went through the sequence. The more specific we are with our own needs, the more relief we feel. So just take that with you as well.
All right, we went 10 to 4, 6 to 3, 5 to 1.5, and 9 to 4, baby.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So good.
And we had a little kid just hang out with us. That was fun.
I was trying to mute and I can't because I'm not like the host, and I was like,
Let him
it
talk.
was all good. Yeah, that was so sweet. And we're gonna further this work even more. We're gonna continue to release overwhelm now, more at a subconscious level. So that was more energetic. And for those of you who haven't been in Katie and I's world, you'll probably hear us a zillion times in our lifetime say that 99.95% of all of our thoughts, our words, our therefore reactions, behaviors, they all stem from our subconscious mind. And so if you think of this iceberg, the tip of the iceberg is our conscious logical thinking mind, that thing that you see on the surface of the ocean. But below it, there is a whole lot more going on and driving the show. So with time techniques, we're able to be in an awakened state, yet access that subconscious space. And by doing that, or in order to do that, we really need to trust ourselves in what comes up for us. Subconscious responses are very quick. A lot of times they might not make total sense. Our logical thinking, problem solving mind will want to figure it out, but what our subconscious mind is showing us, like, really might not make sense to us. And so it's really this practice of self trust in seeing what we need. And so for a moment, just to kind of get you guys in tune with your own timeline, and with time techniques, we're able to work in the future, in the past, in past lives, in generations. And so it is pretty deep. Today, we're going to keep it pretty light, but I still want to elicit all of your timelines if you've never done any sort of timeline therapy or anything like that. So go ahead and just close your eyes for a moment. And if I were to ask you, which direction is your future? What direction would you point in relationship to your body? Kitty's pointing forward, forward. First thought, best thought. Becky's not sure yet. Andrea's saying forward. There's no right or wrong answer. Go with your first thought. Alyssa, did you determine yours? No? Okay. Okay, that's okay. Let's just keep the eyes closed then. And I'll give you my whole spiel to help you guys drop into this a little more. So, closing your eyes, I have a feeling if I were to ask your unconscious mind, where is your future and where is your past, that you would point in some direction, like front to back, side to side, up and down, or in some relationship to your body. And it's not your conscious logical thought out answer we want, it's your unconscious response, that first impulse. So, if I were to ask your unconscious mind again, where is your future? What direction would you point? Okay. And where is your past? Good. And so just notice the direction that that line implies, if you were to kind of connect the dots there. And a way that we can test this is if you can think of something that happened, let's say a couple weeks ago or a month ago. Give me a nod if you can think of something that happened a couple weeks or a month ago. And just notice where that memory comes from. For most of you, it's probably behind, as that's what most of you said. And can you think of something that will happen in a couple weeks or a month from now? Yes. And just notice where that is coming from. For a lot of you, that was in front or up. Okay. Are we good on that? Yeah? Okay. I'm seeing some nods. Great. Wonderful. So let's just continue to release some of this overwhelm that we might be experiencing. And when we do this, I really want you guys to hone in on something specifically to you that you are feeling particularly overwhelmed with right now. Like a specific event, right, that you're worried about, or I know somebody mentioned work. So just go ahead and pick that up now. Just honing in on one of those things that when you think about it, it kind of makes your heart race a little more. Something in particular that you are overwhelmed with. What is it specifically? Bring it to your mind's eye. So with our eyes closed here, taking a deep breath in, Letting out some of that nervous energy through the mouth. Let's do that again. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. I know it's uncomfortable. And let's go ahead and float above our timeline. And by float, I mean like you would float in a pool or a bathtub, or as sound waves float on the wind. And I want you to float 15 minutes past the successful completion of the thing which you thought you were nervous about, overwhelmed about. Okay? So we're floating past this overwhelming experience and we're seeing the success. What do you see? What do you hear? Maybe it's a feeling. Maybe you're not a very visual person. How do you feel about the success? What does that feel like? We all have different ways to interpret the successful completion of the thing in which we thought we were overwhelmed. And as you're doing that, floating there, looking down on this event, just ask your unconscious mind what it needs to learn, the learning of which will allow you to let go of the overwhelm easily and effortlessly. Your unconscious mind can preserve these learnings so that if it needs them in the future, they'll be there to protect you, to help you make good choices, and to serve you. Just go ahead and make note. We want those learnings to be stated positively so that they can reinforce you with support. Just go ahead. Let those learnings come. And when you feel like the learnings have come, whether conscious or unconsciously, just turn around and look toward now on your timeline and ask yourself, where is that overwhelm? Is it there or is it just gone now? Let me see the nods for those who it's gone now. Or possibly littler. Yeah, smaller. Okay, good, beautiful. So let's just go ahead now and come back over our timeline, letting go of that overwhelm, knowing that that successful completion is in our future and we just get to arrive to it. Come on back down to now, coming down from your timeline, back into your space, back into your body, back into the here and now. And whenever you feel complete, you can go ahead and slowly flutter your eyes open, noticing a couple colors to ground yourself back into your space. And if you feel so inclined to write your learnings down now, I would encourage you to do so that you can take them with you to help you make good choices and to serve you. So I'll give you a couple minutes to do that. Beautiful. If anyone wants to share a couple of those in the chat, we're gonna just kind of, do we pause the music? Yeah, we can keep it going. Let's just begin. If you're seated, just make sure you have some space. We're gonna float on this energy a little bit that we just created within our mind's eye and in our bodies. So make sure there's space to move around you because we will be getting up. But wherever you're at, just begin to sink in. It's that feeling that you just created, that little bit of liberation within you. And I want you to kind of feel what that essence is like within your body. What does that little piece of liberation feel like? Is it tingly? Is it bubbly? Is it fluid? Just notice. I'm beginning to move in a way that allows that space to expand and get bigger. Maybe it's stillness with deep breaths. Maybe it's standing up. Maybe it's sitting down. I love to see these learnings coming in. Take them with you here and now. Begin to move your body in a way that feels nurturing and safe and expressive. I love it. Everyone at their own pace. Opening up to the unknown. Baby, what's there? What if it was exciting? What if it was fun? What if it was a little more carefree? How would you move with the energy of that? Knowing.
Feeling into the creativity that you hold in your body. Imagining the moment that you give birth to this thing that you used to be afraid of. Starting to step into that power. Finally accomplish that thing that you're so excited about. Feeling the sensuality that's available for you in this vision. Noticing what you see. Allowing this vision to get so bright. Turning up the saturation in the celebration of accomplishing what is on your heart. Just move. Let's just go into love, lightness, action. Feeling into all parts, corners of your body, noticing where that stagnation is. Feeling its energy of expansion, of peace, of alignment.
Woo!
Through those channels.
Yeah, it's making the noises that feel good to express
You
out.
vocal cords. Loving this vision, loving this life, loving this body, this vessel that carried you into this moment. Woo! You deserve it. If it's on your mind, you get to have it. I never said it was going to be easy, but it is absolutely yours. Or else it would have never been placed here for you to have to begin with. Press that, flow with that, feel that. Feel what that feels like in the body. Notice what it feels like to be in that divine flow, to open yourself to receive it that you desire. Ha. Yes. Keep it moving. Keep it nurturing. Let it feel good. Keep it moving. a little bit, put some Mr. Wives on as we bloom into this super bright and beautiful vision. Yeah. Yeah.
Resilient little thing, just like mama made you know.
We're so resilient!
How does it feel to snow?
Dare you? You did it! Ah! You that
I deserve congratulations, cause I came out the other side. I've been having revelations, and I'm gonna let them shine. I deserve congratulations. I never thought that I'd survive. If you tell me I won't make it, and that's when I super blue. Resilient little thing, just like mama raised you, so you got that wildfire in your soul. Don't you ever let it go. Make it burn so bright that they all know. I deserve congratulations, cause I came out the other side. I've been having revelations, and I'm gonna let them shine. I deserve congratulations. I never thought that I'd survive. If you tell me I won't make it, and that's when I super blue. Never rained in the desert till I picked me for the very first time. Missed August before the sunrise. That's when I never rained in the desert till I picked me for the very first time. Missed August before the sunrise. That's when I.
If you guys are looking for my mom, she's over there.
Super blue, super blue, super blue. I deserve congratulations, cause I came out the other side. I've been having revelations, and I'm gonna let them shine. I deserve congratulations, I never thought that I'd survive. If you tell me I won't make it, and that's when super blue.
All right, amazing, amazing, amazing work. That was so beautiful. I'm so proud of you all. Let's come back into our bodies. So the reason that we do this is an embodiment practice, right? And your subconscious, it doesn't know the difference between real versus perceived. And so we're associating into these really ecstatic states, even when it's hard, even when it looks weird, even when we don't want to, we're doing it anyway. We're training our minds to continue to show up in the shit. And we're seeing ourselves in the picture as if it's already happening, right? Yeah, even when it's sweaty, when it's hard, when it's heavy, like we're still doing the damn thing. So that was amazing. Thank you for sweating it out with us. We'll get to do more of that in a future timeline when you all come to the retreat. And I'll turn it back to Taylor. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, guys, that was so awesome.
If you guys are looking for my mom, she's over there.
Thank you. Oh, what a cutie. That was just amazing to see y'all open up. Thank you for getting weird and funky with us, because if you liked it, you're like definitely my kind of people. even if you reluctantly liked it. Yeah, being in Katie and I's energy, you know that we will hold and nurture you and like also push you to these a little past your comfort zone, right? Because that's where the magic happens. And so just thank you for being open to the funk. And that was a very ethereal, right? Like outward, expressive exercise. And we want to keep that energy of expansion within us. So we're gonna ground now. We're gonna settle our breath a little bit. Katie, if you could start that music, lovely, that would be wonderful. Just beginning to notice what opened up for you. Beginning to release and settle in. Perhaps you notice a willingness for a little more stillness. And taking a deep breath through the nose all the way to the base of the spine. And out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose. Bringing that breath all the way to the base of the spine. And again, when you're ready with that breath, inhale to the base of the spine where you've now noticed the red hue growing brighter and brighter. Letting the breath become natural again. Just imagining a white light above your head. White light is that liberation, that expansion, that freedom, that safety in the unknown. Let it bathe you as it comes over your crown chakra, down the face, comes over the third eye, cleansing and purifying you. Down further now to that throat chakra, our seed of expression. Just allowing it to wash and cleanse anything that's no longer serving you, allowing you to voice your truth with more confidence, certainty, even in the uncertainty. Breathing that light further down around the shoulders into your heart chakra. Our seed of love, our seed of compassion for ourselves and for others. Purifying, cleansing. Moving it down now to our solar plexus, our seed of power. Our confidence, and let's let that white light cleanse and restore and maybe stabilize that space within us. Kind of rebalancing, moving down now to our sacral chakra, our seed of creativity, of sensuality, of pleasure. What if the unknown got to be pleasurable? And allowing that white light to bask in that womb space, cleansing, purifying all the way down to that red hue at the base of your spine where our body meets the earth. And allowing that white light to grow beneath the feet into the surface beneath you where it will extend even further down now into the ground, where the dirt is moist and rugged and raw and supportive and always there for us. Breathing these roots or these cords beneath you down further, that it feels like you're almost anchored to the space beneath you, feeling grounded in the uncertainty, feeling safe in this uncertainty that exists in various ways in our lives, allowing ourselves to be comfortable in the in-between, being here and now while also just holding loving space for what's next. I'm taking a really deep breath in. Yawning is good. Placing those hands on our hearts and just thanking ourselves for giving us this time, for just saying yes to yourself and showing up and being open to receive whatever it is that you get to take away with you today and for the weeks, months, and years to come from this tiny little space. Thank you so much from my heart to yours. Namaste. Oh, y'all are so beautiful. Yes. We'll tap into some journaling to close up our time. And we have a special invitation for you. So if you do have to hop off, we totally understand. But we welcome you to know more about the in-person retreat that we will be facilitating in Colorado here in a few months. I'm getting so excited. But before we share that with you, we're just going to close out with some reflection points for you to carry forward. A lot of the work that Katie and I do, and I think a lot of the discomfort that some of us are experiencing, is this new identity that we step into, right? Through the pandemic, a lot of people were shown, what really matters to me. And I think a lot of us are opening ourselves up to that possibility of having a life that's more aligned with that. And also, that requires us to step forward in a different capacity, right? So, taking with you this certainty in the uncertainty and that freedom of the event that you visualize and what's in your future, I want to ask you, what are the values that that person possesses? When we work on a values level, this influences our beliefs and what we believe to be true about ourselves, the world around us, our reality. And so values are this really beautiful anchor that we can come into. So what are those values? What does that person value most? Give me 5 to 10 in your journal, whatever comes to mind. Is it freedom? Is it connection? Is it money? Is it love? Is it friendships, right? What does this person value? And what do you desire? What do you desire that's in alignment with those values? Even if it's unfamiliar, just give yourself permission to go there. What are your needs that are going to support those dire desires and values? What kinds of needs need to be met? What are we saying more yes to that support us and actualizing and living out those values and desires? And last question is, how can you remain true to yourself through all of this? What is it that, in what ways can you remain true to yourself, to this vision as you move forward? Beautiful. Getting clear on how we're going to move forward from this space. And a little homework assignment for y'all, if you were my one-on-one clients, would be to take these values that you wrote down and actually give them a meaning, a definition. What, how do you know that you're actualizing them? For example, if love is one of my main values, how is it that I experience that? This is one of the ways that I would 100% show myself love and being in community. Another way might be like snuggling on the couch, watching a movie with my husband. That's very loving, right? What does it mean for you? So that's just one thing to take with you as a little homework assignment from today. I don't know. Katie wrote Stranger Things. I don't know if y'all are Yellowstone people, but I'm like obsessed. And I don't even watch TV. So it's my guilty pleasure.
I love Yellowstone.
So manly.
So sexy. In all areas of life. I love it.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Amazing. Let's hear. I want to hear a little bit. Let's do a little bit of shares. You can unmute yourself.
I want to know how y'all are feeling.
Yeah.
Who's brave?
I'll start. I will say that I started feeling pretty tired, low in energy. I've been holding a lot of space these last few days. So I'm ready to be held, and I was held so beautifully by all of you. So thank you. And now I'm feeling like energized and excited, honestly, and motivated, super motivated. I'm really passionate about what I'm saying yes to. So yes.
I am feeling, well, thank you. I also just want to say thank you both for this experience. And I came in feeling like very self-loved and like open. And I feel like I've definitely just like been able to bring in more awareness to like some of the things that are in my subconscious that I'm like that have been just kind of sitting in the back of my head, and that I am like gonna give more space to. And I feel like that's really what it is like giving myself more space to just move through it and not even like, and sit with the uncertainty and allow myself to be more present with it and just accept
Yeah.
it, love it, and like, and going back to my values, like appreciating myself and giving myself that love and time to be present with it. So thank you.
Yeah. And not having a need for resolution, right? That's like it's holding space. That's the definition in my world. And I love that. I think when we're able to do that, we open ourselves up to more joy and more possibility and aligned encounters. And it actually allows us to access more of our truth in order to be expressed, which then when it is, we become more supported, right? Thank you for sharing that, Alyssa. I love that. Juicy. Mark's feeling juicy. That's what you wanted. Yeah, I love
If
it.
you only knew.
Yes, we got those juices going. I love
I
it.
felt them too. I'm feeling quite juicy.
Barbara says she's there with a friend, and her friend is saying yes to more of this. I love it. You're in the right spot. We do separately. Taylor and I we co-operate and co-host a online space. It's on Facebook. It's a completely free community, and twice monthly we offer activations. So we're in there the first Wednesday of every month. It's a check-in, it's manifestation monthly, our monthly manifestation call. And we're just evaluating all these areas of life that make us whole and noticing where we can add more and nurture more and how. So it's just a really great way to anchor into that like continual forward momentum to get us to these visions and these goals easily. And then the third Wednesday, we have guest speakers in the group that are sharing their medicine and wisdom. It's a cooperative. So, Taylor and I aren't the only experts out there, and there's a lot more knowledge to be had and received and shared. And so we invite other, space holders and teachers into the group to share their wisdom as well. So I'll put that link in the chat. It's a free resource, and we love building that community there too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Are there any other shares before we have a very special share for you? I know it looked like Holly might have been typing.
Did it come across?
I don't think anything came.
Oh,
You can still send it if you typed it.
well, I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, thank you. Use
one
that throat
stress-
chakra.
I'm the work stressor here. So stressed out about a high pressure career. And I think this has brought me into a different space. I'm hoping I can hold on to it, knowing that we'll be okay. Work is not a life or death experience, right? So anchoring into that positive and letting go of all that negative and what doesn't serve me.
Yeah.
Holly, to add to that too, I've been really overwhelmed with work and in receiving some medicine and wisdom from another woman. She offered me this, and I'll just share it with you, is that even though it feels overwhelming, okay, there's tapping, so we can do that. But even though it feels overwhelming, anchoring into the mindset of there's still something here for me, right? Like, and searching and looking and creating that intention and the meaning in what is there for you, what is present for you, the learnings and the growth that's available to you, right? Like, if you weren't supposed to be there, you wouldn't be there. And so that means that you can have confidence and assurance that, okay, I'm still, receiving something from this, and it still gets to be that exchange. And so just really anchoring into that vision and that mindset of, okay, well, what is the goodness? What is the growth? What's the learnings? Even when I'm feeling overwhelmed, that's good. And it means that we're like expanding those boundaries. and growing our capacity to hold more. So I hope
She's
that
definitely heard that before.
Yes.
The capacity piece, I think we just spoke about that like a couple days ago. So it's so aligned, Katie, of course.
Love it. All right.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, everyone.
And so I put in the chat, there is the Team KT Light Leaders Cooperative group. That's the one on Facebook. Head over there, join us in there, completely free to the community. And then separately, as Taylor and I mentioned, we've got this amazing retreat coming up. I am going to share my screen with you so that you all can check it out with me. I did put that chat, the link to the retreat in the chat as well. But this is our upcoming retreat here in Carbondale, Colorado, October 20th to the 23rd. It's a beautiful time of year. All the leaves are going to be changing. The air is going to be super fresh and crisp. And the house that we're going to be staying on, it's got the most beautiful view of the whole entire town of Carbondale. So let me pull up that really quickly so you can just see.
This is recent, guys. We launched this retreat with the idea that you could come and go and, kind of create your own experience for lodging, whether you wanted to bring your family or stay with a friend or whatever. And we came to the conclusion that this needs to be completely all inclusive. So lodging and plant-based meals. You'll never eat so healthy for 4 whole days in your life. But this beautiful space showed up for us, and we were like, we 100% have to do yoga on that deck, first of all. And the best part about this is a 20-minute walk to the subterranean building and Peace Garden and Retreat Center, where we get to facilitate more of the deeper, intimate, subconscious, transformational work that Katie and I are so familiar and passionate about. But Katie, I will let you continue on.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, as Taylor mentioned, it's 3 days in this really beautiful place. The place that we will be doing the work in, it's called True Nature Healing Arts. Some of you may have heard of it. It's a pretty well-known place based in Carbondale. So Taylor, if you wouldn't mind, while I'm showing this, if you could just drop the link of True Nature in the chat.
For sure.
And then here's the first virtual retreat that we hosted, Into Your Heart Retreat. So if you want more resources, more of this work, this is a really great resource for you to use. And yeah, just a little bit more on the retreat. Here's Carbondale in the fall. That is definitely what it will be looking like. Super beautiful. And then there's going to be yoga. There's going to be somatic integration. Every morning, there's going to be guided meditation and movement. There's going to be access to a peace garden. We're going to be in nature doing hikes where you're going to be receiving and sitting in ceremony. So it's for the people that are open to the spiritual healing and cultivating this conscious community and connection, some self-exploration, more integration, authenticity and truth. That's what we were speaking about this whole time, exercising your authenticity and receiving the support that you need when you say yes and you express that authentic truth. So here's a few pictures of True Nature. This is the space that we'll be in. It's subterranean, so it's underneath of the earth. I actually met the designer of this space. I sat in ceremony with him just a few short weeks ago. He's a super cool man. He's charged with lots of good, juicy energy. As I said, ceremonies, sound bath, meditation and movement, facilitated workshops, time in nature, plant-based meals. And there's also going to be a kickoff call and a integration call after the retreat. So we're going to be kicking it off, jumping online, getting into a space together, so that you can get your questions answered. We can really set some good intentions before we arrive into the space. And then a post-retreat integration call to support you all in that vision and that journey and that future, those future action items and steps that we'll be moving through. And then I teach yoga, so there will definitely be yoga, different types of yoga, EFT and yoga. There's going to be tarot and flow, and just some more pictures of the house. Taylor and I have a couple of super special offers happening right now for this retreat. For the next person that signs up and says yes, we only have one more spot. So whoever the next person is to sign up, they will get $200 off. They will get that hypnosis session that we mentioned, and they will also get $100 to the spa at the retreat center. So $100 in spa service. That's for the next person that signs up by Wednesday. And then the following 2 people after that will get $50 in spa credit and that $200 off. So they won't get that $100 or that hypnosis session, but they will still get bonuses. And then that goes through Wednesday. We've only got 7 spots left. We've got 1 single bed that's still open. The rest are doubles, or there's an option for you to find housing on your own, which is we have hotels and other places to suggest. And we're going to be having a private chef in the last night. There's 2 hot tubs at this Airbnb, so more juicy goodness to come. And just letting it really be full of pleasure and play and filling your cup and nourishing yourselves even more.
It's a vibe. So, guys, I was at a retreat this weekend and it was lovely. Um, and it was not a Team KT experience. So I'm not gonna lie, I had like my judgy pants on, and I think that there was a lesson for me there to open up and receive the medicine that was available. Um, but truthfully, this is going to be like a total vibe and experience, and it's luxury. Like you're staying in this, I want to stay in this beautiful house. Like we might cut off the number of retreat participants so we can stay there in this divine place and in nature, mountainside with the trees rustling all around us, and really probably not much service of your phones to be had. Like it's really this time to disconnect and allow yourself to play in the energy of that future self, right? Like that vision that we've created today and that energy, it's like when we get to play in it, we bring it closer to us and to our current reality. So I'm so excited.
Thank you all so much. This was such a pleasure to play with you. And Taylor and I are so in love with this work, and we're so in love with the people that are open and willing to accept it and be in this space with us. And we're so excited to welcome more of you into our space into the future.
Nice to meet you. Keep in touch.
Thank you. You too, Mark.
Of course, you too. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day. Drink lots of water, by the way, and like nurture yourself a little bit. So.
And Taylor and I can hang on the call in case you guys have any other questions for a couple of minutes or concerns or feedback. We're happy to receive.
Bye. Bye.